Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Farmer on the Prairie. Today's video is a little interesting because, normally when we make a decision, it'll start with Dad and I talking on the farm. Then we'll decide to go ahead and either get something or do something a different way. This decision that we've made has kind of been all on me. Dad knows about it. Dad's been okay with it. But I called around to a bunch of different places about pieces of equipment, comparing them. I finally decided on which one that we needed. I even optioned it out. Stop beating around the bush, guys. Dad's not with me today. That's what makes it interesting is Dad got a call. He has to deliver some organic corn today, so he is unable to go with me to pick this up. It's a little different because this is kind of like the first thing that I've completely done on my own on the farm, and Dad's been totally okay with it. I'd love to get Dad's reaction of first seeing it when we get home. The problem is he's already seen it once. When we were on vacation out in Pennsylvania, there was a dealership that had a spreader like we're getting with side extensions and everything on it. Didn't have some of the options that we're getting, but our spreader also does not have all the options on it yet. It was going to be until April until we could get it with everything on it. So they sent it without the scale. We got to put the scale on later. The last time we got a manure spreader, it was when, pretty sure I was 12, so 9.5 years ago now. The reason I remember that is because it was right before I got braces, and the orthodontist, they're trying to get to know you, whatever, and write something that you're excited about. And I wrote down getting a new manure spreader. And he started busted up laughing, and he goes, "What is that?" And I told him, and he goes, "That is the first time I've ever heard that before. You're a unique individual." I'm not sure he said you're a unique individual, but I filled in the spaces there. But anyhow, so that was the last time we got one. Since we got a manure spreader, our cattle herd is about doubled, and we've also now decided that we're going to start spreading chicken litter, which means that we need a lot more spreader that can do a lot better job more consistently. Why we're getting the scale on this as well is because then we'll be able to monitor how much we're using per acre. Alrighty, well, we're here. You can see that spreader there, and I'll show you more in a little bit. I have it behind me. It is extremely heavy, and we have no brakes, and it's getting close to dark because the guy that we bought this from, him and I had a nice conversation for quite a while and talked for way too long, and now it's getting dark. But okay, so it's the next day now. Got back with the manure spreader. You guys probably didn't really see anything of it because it was dark by the time I got back. But anyhow, to give you a little bit of an idea for size, here's our Kubota. There's the manure spreader. There's Dad.
Glad we got the smallest one, because I don't think we'd have tractors to handle bigger ones.
Yeah. So what do you think of my purchase that you didn't really have much to do with?
Well, I wished you'd have purchased it. But anyhow, no, I think it'll be a good investment. Hopefully we will get the poultry litter that is promised to us. So hopefully the ground freezes up. That's kind of critical to getting the manure delivered. So I think it'll be a good fit, and this will hopefully be around a long time to facilitate some poultry litter. So,
well, every time we use it, I'm hopefully going to wash it so we don't let the thing get rusted out or any of that. And seems to be extremely well built. I'll kind of show you guys back here. We got the side extensions on it. We also got the bigger tires because we're probably not always going to be spreading in ideal conditions. Back here we got an attachment on the beaters called a litter splitter. So it makes sure that nothing kind of comes out this empty hole here. It all gets forced into the beaters. And then it's got these really big paddles on top, underneath those, and those get left on all the time. When we're spreading bedding pack though, we need to pull this off so it doesn't use too much horsepower or bend the bar. It's got a guillotine gate, LED lights. For using it with chicken litter, we tried getting a scale. We aren't going to be able to get that until about April though, so that's kind of a bummer, but oh well, it is what it is. So you can see in here the really big floor chain. It's got a poly floor. Hopefully it lasts a long time. It also has an oiler that once you empty it out, wash it up, you can turn it on and oil the chain to keep it fresh. So it's a big chain. Hopefully it's several years before we have to work on those. Underneath this cover right here, it's got 2 D-rings, and you hook chains up to those D-rings and you can pick the beaters off. And you're probably wondering why we ended up with a Pik Rite. It was many phone calls to a lot of different dealerships and companies, and we ended up going with the Pik Rite because we knew about them through our friend Eric, the 10th generation dairyman. They have the Hydra Push version, but the Hydra Push will not work for what we want to do. So we ended up getting the Hydra Pull, which is the chain drive. And it's got a variable speed valve so that we can change the speed of the hydraulic chain to hopefully get our rate how we want it. Once we get the scale on and calibrate it, our plan is to go through the field. If we do 2 acres, we'll look and see, okay, we did 16,000 pounds. That's what we wanted to do, that kind of thing. If we don't have a scale, it makes it kind of hard. And I called around a few different Pik Rite dealers, and I ended up buying from a guy down by Chrisman, Illinois. And if any of you are interested in a Pik Rite, if I say we like this after a little while and some of you want a manure spreader and you're interested in one, just send me a message or email me and I can get you his contact info, because he really helped us out with picking this spreader up. The only thing is I had to flip the drawbar on the Kubota over because this Kubota has a bent drawbar, or I should say an offset drawbar, and it was too low. But it's got a CV on both ends of the drive shaft here, so turning with the PTO on won't be an issue anymore. Floor's on there, you can see it going around. And if I want to change the speed of the floor, I can come right here. And that speeds it up significantly. And there's the beaters.
I think it's going to work pretty good. Now we just need some frozen ground so we can haul manure. We're supposed to get some this week, so hopefully it'll work.
Alright, so it's after dark now. We're about ready to put the tractor and manure spreader in the shed if it'll fit, but just thought I'd show you all The spreader's got some pretty nice lights on it. Lets you kind of see what's going on back here. Pretty handy. I thought they were going to come with incandescents, and honestly I was pretty disappointed that I thought it was coming with incandescents. No, they sent LEDs with. Blinded by the light. You can see you got a pretty good view what's going on back there. It's got some really nice road lights. It's got brake lights and flashers. They're pretty bright as well. You can kind of see. Well, you can't see them for the lights on. It's a little bit of a, the way this is wired up, if your tractor headlights are on, these back work lights are on. Now granted, where we go, it doesn't matter. We don't haul on a highway, we haul on a one-lane road in the middle of the night. But anyhow, if people see those bright lights, they're gonna be slowing down anyhow. You can see a lot better in person, but there's a flasher on the front. All in all, pretty happy with it. We'll see what I think after we run it for a little bit. Could be different then, I don't know, we'll see. When you get it inside, it looks even a little bit bigger. It's also kind of nice, if you open the tailgate, you can kind of see while backing because you can look through the mesh on the front of the spreader. But we do have to take this attachment off for spreading our bedding pack. With that being said, guys, that is all for today's video. Hopefully, at the end of this week, we will be using this thing after we get the Kubota serviced up. And we'll see how this does hauling bedding pack probably in the snow.